Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about the dumper versus the dumpee, how to come out on top. So this is a video for people that have been dumped, people who have had their hearts stomped on, been broken up with, and perhaps you didn't want the breakup to happen. So how can you feel better about this? Because sometimes it may seem like your ex has moved on really fast, or it feels like they just have their life together better, or it just feels like they just don't care anymore, and things like that. And it can make you feel really, really inferior, and it can make you feel horrible about yourself, and it can make you have low self-esteem, especially if you was in a breakup that you was in a relationship that you didn't want to end, right? And this person broken up with you, and now you just feel horrible about yourself, and you're wondering why me, or what's wrong with me, or why can't I hold a relationship, why doesn't she love me anymore, why doesn't he love me anymore, whatever it may be. Sometimes you can ask those questions to yourself when you go through a breakup, and especially a breakup that you didn't want to happen. So then we go into the beginning, so what happens at the beginning of a breakup, okay? Inside the dumper's mind, okay? So at the beginning, the dumper feels desired and superior. And the reason they feel more desirable, more superior, more attractive is because they're the one that's ending the relationship. And if you try to fight, basically, at the beginning, and you tried to stop that from happening, and maybe you begged, maybe you pleaded to try and, stop them from leaving, basically, that has made them feel more superior and more attractive. Even if they're not conscious of it, they might not be just walking around feeling like they're the bee's knees, or, like wearing a cape and just thinking they're, standing on a mountain, looking over at the horizon. They may not be feeling like that kind of superior, that kind of egotistical superior. They may not be feeling that, although they may do as well. But usually, if someone is fighting for them and they've broken up with them, they are the one that feels more attractive than that person. They are the one that feels more superior, generally, okay? So, to switch this around, right, and to kind of flip the script, or at least to get you guys back at the even playing field, especially if you're hoping maybe to reattract them, the best thing to do is to do nothing and to go into no contact, to stop fighting for them. And if you've only just came out of the breakup and you haven't tried to fight for them yet, then don't. Accept the breakup. The best response when someone breaks up with you is to just accept it. And the reason why you should just accept it is because ultimately we all know deep down that we deserve to be with someone that loves us. And if someone doesn't love us anymore, we should just let them leave, because we deserve to be around people that want us, that appreciate us, that love us, okay? And if we are trying to keep ourselves in a place where we're no longer wanted or desired, and we're trying to fight for a relationship that the other person doesn't want to be in, that makes you look like someone who has no self-respect. And it's not a self-respecting thing to do, to try and place yourself or try to force yourself into someone's life that doesn't want you there, okay? You kind of can see this sometimes if you think of kids in the playground, right? And you've got this one kid who really wants to be friends with this other kid, but this other kid just doesn't even want to look at them, basically. And we've all seen or been in situations like that, where we've perhaps wanted to have a friend and they weren't really interested in being friends with us or something like that. And they kind of just ignored you, or they had other friends that they played with and would prefer to play with them, and they chose other people over you. It doesn't make you feel good. It makes you have low self-esteem. But if you keep on chasing that person, it just makes you look even more weaker. And if you want this person that's broken up with you to see you as more attractive, then, you need to be more strong, which is why you walk away and you just accept it. So when they say, look, I'm leaving you, you can say, okay, well, that's fine. I want to be with someone that loves me. And you deserve to be with someone that loves you too, that you love. And if you don't love me, that's fine, because, I deserve to be with someone that loves me. So I'm going to go and find someone that loves me. And if you you don't have to say it just like that, but if you come across like, okay, you don't want to be with me, that's fine. That's okay. I want to be with someone that loves me. Have a nice life, right? Right? And if you say something like that, then, and you walk away from them and you stick to it and you don't contact them anymore at all, right? Unless it's, kind of like a logistics thing, like collecting stuff, dropping off stuff, talking about the kids or whatever, then of course, that kind of thing needs to be said. But you walk away from the relationship. You walk away from anything romantic with them, or trying to keep something romantic with them, or trying to build something romantic with them. So if you do have to talk to them, you make it completely businesslike and not romantic and not emotional whatsoever. But if you walk away and you go into no contact, essentially what is happening is you are showing them that you're strong, that you have self-respect, and that you're not going to chase them. And the thing is, even though your ex probably didn't want you to chase them, even though your ex probably didn't want you to beg for them, they were probably still expecting it. And perhaps maybe secretly they wanted it a little bit, because perhaps that would have made them feel really good about themselves by the fact that you have chased them. You're trying to, they feel desirable because you are chasing them. But now you've accepted it, you've dropped them just as fast as they dropped you. And now they're looking at what's happened and thinking, well, they just accepted it. They didn't chase, they didn't do anything. They did nothing. They didn't even try, they didn't even fight for me. What's wrong with me? Other times when I've broken up with people, they've always begged, they've always fought for me, they've always chased me. This person hasn't. It confuses them and it switches the script, right? And if they still care about you and if they still love you, they will sense your strength by the fact that you've walked away, and they'll come back. Or they'll at least become more curious in you, and it will just drive them a little bit crazy, basically trying to figure out why you just accepted it so easily, right? So even if you don't get them back, you're still going to deeply confuse them. At least if you've got that right. What it does is that at least if it doesn't flip the script and make them more attracted to you and them start chasing you, you're at least at an even playing field, and they're not feeling superior, feeling more attractive, feeling better than you. Okay. So if it's too late for that, if it's too late for you to say to them, perhaps you've already begged, perhaps you've already pleaded, done all that kind of stuff, then just simply apply the no contact rule, okay? Which is, kind of what you do anyway. But, if you've already begged, if you've already pleaded, the only kind of tool you have left in your toolbox is the no contact rule. So apply the no contact rule. If you are interested in learning how to get your ex back, if you are interested in how to apply the no contact rule, then I highly recommend that you listen or re-watch or re-listen to my audio on how to get your ex back. Please go back to it again if it's something that you've already watched, because if you, when you watch or listen to something or read something for the first time, you only retain a portion, like a small percentage of that information. It's only when you go back to it over and over again that you start to actually have that information as more instinctual, and you retain the information a lot better. It becomes more ingrained into your brain, okay? So please go and watch it again if you haven't done so already. It's absolutely essential if you are trying to get your ex back, or if you're trying to get over an ex as well, or if you're trying to figure out how to use and apply the no contact rule. I go into a lot of details there about not only how to get your ex back, but what if you were the one that did the dumping, or what to do if they were the one that dumped you, and how to move on as well if for whatever reason it doesn't work out. So the next thing that I want to talk about, which is really important, is to don't rush into a new relationship. Take time to heal, okay? Don't do a rebound thing and try to pretend that you're over your ex when you're not. Now, this was something that I did when I had a breakup in my early 20s. As soon as the breakup happened, I was on different dating apps trying to find someone new, because I was trying to move on fast. But the thing, and try and get into a new relationship really quick. When really, when you've gone through a long relationship, my relationship that time had been about a year and a bit. When you've been with someone for a year or more, you really need a year or more to get over it. Okay, you need a year or a year and a half to get over it. And to be single, and just to take time to heal, take time to get back to who you are, to recenter yourself. Because when you come out of a breakup, the emotions are still really raw. And if you don't get over those things, and you don't get over those intense emotions, you can start doing a lot of things you regret with people that you don't actually even really want to be with. And I know that because I went through it, okay? It's not great to go from one relationship and start dating new people straight away. It doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel good, and you spend half the time just talking about your ex anyway and how much they screwed you over, and it's just not a good look, basically. So you take time to heal, get over it, it, recenter yourself, get back to doing things that are really important to you. Your hobbies, spending time with friends and family, learning new skills, whatever it is that you want to do with your life, basically. Think about your goals, right? There's a question I ask people all the time, which is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Figure out what that is for you. What kind of house do you want? What would you like your body to look like? What kind of income do you want to be having each month? What kind of job do you want to be having? What would your career be like? What kind of lifestyle would you want to be living? How would you like to live your day? What would the perfect day look like for you, right? If you could have it any way that you wanted it, right? And then you try and work towards that every single day. And that can really help with that as well, because it'll help recenter you, it'll help give you some purpose, because, when you get into a relationship, sometimes your life can be really taken over by that person, especially if you're quite codependent and stuff. So, you can lose a lot of who you were when you get into a relationship, especially if it was a codependent one, right? So you need to get back to who you were, figure out who you are again, get back to, exercising and doing, eating the right things. Try to avoid going on any binges or anything like that, because that's just going to make you feel worse about yourself. Don't avoid your life by just watching too much Netflix and playing too many video games, eating too much junk food. Don't do anything like that. Do things that are good for you, that encourage you, that will make you feel good about yourself, rather than just things that numb the pain or make you feel bad about yourself, like overindulging in stuff you shouldn't be doing, right? Focus on creating a better life for yourself. To focus on that. Keep that as your focus. Even if you feel like crap right now, focus on your future. Focus on where you want to be in the future, okay? If you need some help, obviously, then go and get some counseling, go and get some therapy if you're going through a particular tough time. But if you're just going through, you just feel a bit bummed out, you feel a bit heartbroken, then just focus on your future and making that better. And maybe if you have an amazing life and you create an amazing life for yourself, your ex is going to look back, the person that dumped you is going to look back on you, see what you're up to these days, and they're going to see that you have an amazing life, and maybe they'll even regret leaving you, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. And if there's anything you'd like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments. Goodbye guys, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.